It's good to do, but don't do until you can't do for you. And if you continue to only say yes and never say no, then I guarantee you are going to be a speed bump in the life of some people that you help. And they're going to keep driving over you every single time they have a need and a desire and a want. They expect you to talk to them until 4 in the morning. Sometimes you got to say, I'm tired, I got to work, I'm getting off the phone. They expect you to be a human ATM. And sometimes you got to say, yeah, I got it, but today you can't have it. They expect you to pick them up and drive them all around the world. And guess what? Sometimes you need to do it because God has blessed you with the car. But sometimes you also need to say, you know what? Gas is expensive. And more than that, I'm just tired. See, we think that being tired is a bad excuse. Just tell somebody I'm tired. But no. You get tired for a reason. It's your body telling you that you need to replenish yourself. And if you don't listen to your body, then you're going to be burnt out for everything else that you have to do. So you got to get over that initial pinch that you feel when you say no. You got to get over that you know that feeling that you get in your gut. Well, I just can't today. And there's that feeling like, oh, I'm a bad friend, or I'm a bad sister or brother or whatever. And then you got to hear them on the other line go, I know some people in here, you've gotten to the point where you're able to say, smack your teeth, roll your eyes, whatever, I'm going to bed, bye. And that's strength. Because ultimately, if you don't find contentment for yourself in your heart, then it's going to be hard for you to do anything else. Look at Saul. He says in verse 24, I was afraid of the people, so I gave in to them. Now I beg you, forgive my sin and come back with me. Here we go. Here's the link, the connection. Here's what keeps us content right here. He says, forgive my sin and come back with me. Look at this. Look at what Saul says. So that I may worship the Lord. Listen, and you can play. Gotcha. As long as I have the privilege, opportunity, and ability to worship, that's enough for me to be content. As long as I have the ability to lift my hands and open my mouth and send God up a hallelujah and a Lord, you're worthy, and a Father, you're awesome. As long as I have the ability to do that, then I have a reason to be content. As long as I'm in my right mind to be able to reverence God and to sit at God's feet, I have a reason to be content. Listen, we look for all of these different facets and reasons to be happy and satisfied. But honestly, when you boil it down, there's one reason to be content. And it's because in Him I live. And in Him I move. And in Him I have my being. And as long as I'm able to stretch these hands, I'm content. As long as I'm able to shout hallelujah, I'm content. But even if something happens to my vocal cords and I can't shout it, as long as I'm able to think hallelujah, I'm content. As long as I'm able to reflect upon all that God does, and even more importantly, all that God is, I'm content. As long as there's a song in my spirit that can be sung to His spirit, I'm content. As long as I know I can go to the rock and find comfort in the time of weakness, I'm content. As long as I know the Lord's ear is attentive unto my cry, I'm content. As long as I know that I can wrap myself in the comfort of His arms, in the power of His presence, I'm content. I might not have $1 million. I might not have the house I want. I might not have the shape I want. I might not have the car I want. But as long as I can worship, I find my contentment. Because I realize that in worship, God is pleased. And if God is pleased with me, then that's all the contentment that I need. God, I just want to stretch out on you all the days of my life. Because that's true contentment. I don't know about you, but the times that I'm most content is when I'm in my quiet time with the Lord. When I'm in my closet and the lights are turned off and it's just me and Him. I'm more content there a stage. I'm more content there than I am at the bank. I'm more content there because I realize that this is why I was created. I was created to worship him. And when I worship him, I'm using my hands for what he created me to use them for. I'm using my mouth for what he created me to use them for. So as long as I can worship, I have a reason to be content. As long as I have a heart beating inside of my chest, I have a reason to be content because I can worship him with the words that flow from my heart. I can worship him with the sound that flows from my mouth. Is there anybody in here that agrees with me that as long as you have a worship in your spirit, as long as you're able to stretch out your hands, you've got a reason to be satisfied. You can worship him in a hospital bed. You can worship him in a prison cell. You can worship him in a one-bedroom apartment. You might not need and might not have everything that you want, but you have the ability to say, Lord, you're worthy. Lord, you're holy. Lord, you're righteous. Lord, you're awesome.